Hello and welcome to Macy Cooks. It's been a while. I know. You probably thought I was never coming back. I feel like I need to apologize. You know, I built this channel on honesty and I feel like we need to air it out. So this last semester I was taking classes online, working as a paraprofessional at an elementary school, and also finished up my book, which has now been edited, and I'm sending out query letters this week. But all of those things, they sound like excuses. Let me show you the real reason. The real reason I've been busy. I got an espresso machine. So, I mean, that took up some time. I had to build a clutter drawer. Look, it comes with ponytails, some dried out Play-Doh, a 4th of July necklace, bubbles, a lighter, anything a girl could need. I was busy not doing my laundry and storing everything I own on the walls. A new game where I figure out how high I can stack stuff in my closet. Oh, a spider. As you can see, I had a lot going on. But I want you to know that doesn't take away from how guilty I feel about leaving you guys. So, in order to ensure that this never happens again, I'm gonna punish myself by ironing my hands. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna do it! You know what? I thought of something else. It's better. It's better. You know what? I'm gonna share a recipe with you guys. One that I'm super proud of. Yeah, that's what we'll do. One that I've been working on for a long time. It's a showstopper. I'll tell you what, it's better than ironing your hands. Today, we're going to be making Cluck Pucks. That doesn't give you a visual of what we're making? Oh, well, I'll insert this picture. Because I typically have to just walk you through it. Before I show you the ingredients you need, I'll just explain. A Cluck Puck, it's a chicken biscuit. Yeah, instead of like just normal butter, you're using, chicken fat. Yeah, chicken fat. Schmaltz. We'll need 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of salt, a tablespoon of baking powder, 3/4 cups of milk, extra flour for sprinkling, and also a 1/2 cup or 4 ounces of chicken fat combined with butter. And I'll tell you more about that breakdown in a minute. To our bowl, we will add the 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. We will also add the 1 tablespoon of baking powder. I was out of baking powder this time, so I had to make my own. And if you're in a similar boat, I have a solution. I've got a video, which I'll link right here, that shows you how to make your own baking powder using 2 simple ingredients that you probably have in your kitchen. Next up is the most important part. You need to add 4 ounces or a 1/2 cup of extremely cold, cubed up chicken fat. Now the reason I have chicken fat laying around is because my husband and I really like to make our own chicken stock. We add in a bunch of celery and carrots and herbs and boil it all day with a roasted chicken carcass. But then at the end of the day, whenever we're cooling it and preparing it for its containers, we skim the top of all the fat and set it aside. Then I clarify the chicken fat and save it for things like Cluck Pucks. But if you don't feel like going to all that trouble, that's fine. You can actually find chicken fat at the store. It's typically called schmaltz. And add in all that fat. Now I did supplement with about a 1/4 cup of butter because I was low on schmaltz. It's not a big deal. Essentially what you're doing is squeezing the piece of fat between your fingers, incorporating it into the flour. We're trying to make it such that these little fat pieces are covered in flour and broken down into thin little strips. Those thin strips of fat throughout the flour are what's going to ensure we have a flaky Cluck Puck. Alrighty, once your mixture comes together like this and you see tiny little shards of butter and also some that are larger, that's okay, we're an inclusive nation. You're going to set it aside and then grab your milk. Add in your 3/4 cups of chili milk. You do want to try to keep this mixture as cold as possible because if the butter starts to melt or the schmaltz starts to melt, you won't get flaky biscuits. You'll get something that's a little bit more like a drop biscuit, which again is not bad, but it's not really what we're looking for. Once it has come together into an ooey gooey sticky conglomerate of soulful perfection, you're going to sprinkle your counter with a little bit of flour and then join me down there. Not there. Deeply sorry for that. I didn't mean join me down there. I meant on the counter. Join me on the counter. Don't join me on the counter. Join the chicken biscuits. Make sure to get an excess of flour on your t-shirt, and then start pressing the dough down and adding a little bit of that dry flour to the top. And once you've gathered it and pressed it down, start grabbing pieces from one side and folding them over. Now you'll see it's crumbling, and that's good. That means these are going to be super crumbly, flaky biscuits. But what we're trying to do is create layers. So just continue folding and then grabbing these tiny little rogues and putting them on top. Once you've done several folds and several turns, it helps to get your rolling pin involved. Begin by rolling it out into a rectangle. Then rotate your rectangle. Roll it out a bit more, just a hair, just a hair. Hair? I don't even know what kind of poor accent that was. If you know what that sounds like, just link it in the comments, please. A hair. Oh, watchy. Maybe that's what it sounds like. I digress. Once you've played with the biscuits enough and you feel as though you've got a sufficient amount of folds, take your rolling pin and roll it out. In the past, I have considered cutting these into squares because once they're baked, I think personally the best way to eat them is with Nashville hot chicken on top. But by cutting them into squares, they're no longer pucks, they're slabs.
Like a car? Like kind of like a lowrider? A slab? Come on, guys. Wait a second. Is slab just a southern thing?
Cluck slab doesn't rhyme. Cluck puck is the only way it makes sense. So make it a circle. You, me, and the knives, I've truly dropped the ball here. You should have already preheated your oven to 450. So if you're like me and you forgot to preheat your oven to 450, which you probably did because you're looking to me for instruction. Once you get the pucks cut out and on the tray, put them in the refrigerator so they can stay chilly, and then get the oven preheated to 450 like a moron or somebody who follows really good directions. Also, as always when making biscuits, I intended to cut these out with my Chimay glass, but when I went looking in this cabinet, it was not there. I suspect criminal activity. So pick whatever glass you can find, any size, it doesn't matter. It really just depends on what you're putting on this bad boy. If you're putting a big piece of chicken, go for a big biscuit. If you're planning on dipping it in like a creamy chicken noodle soup, then I suppose it doesn't really matter, does it? The important part is that they're all a similar size so they bake at a similar rate. So let's go for perfection, okay guys? Just perfection, that's all I'm asking for. And like my last biscuit recipe, which I'll link here in case you're not into the schmaltz, we're gonna grab up all these little weird pieces and just start stacking them one on top of the other. Then grab your pin and just roll them out. And then, ladies and gentlemen, though we added all those tiny ugly pieces together, they all came together to make the most beautiful lumplin you've ever seen. It's gonna bake up delicious. I can't believe that I forgot to preheat the oven, and now we're just sitting here, staring at one another, just waiting. What'd y'all do for New Year's? Was it good? We just sat on the couch, yeah. We barely made it to midnight, but I just wanted to ensure that the clocks actually did roll over and that it wasn't like Groundhog's Day, you know, just on a loop. You know, the put your little hand in my...
I wanted to include the song here, but I'm just really concerned that YouTube will pull it down because I don't have the rights. But you see, Bill Murray's in bed. It's going to start over. You know the deal. You know. La la, la la, I got you, babe.
Did y'all start any New Year's resolutions? Put them in the comment section. I'm interested. By the way, while we're talking about the comment section, y'all have all been so incredibly supportive. So sweet, so nice. I love seeing the feedback in the comment section. And also, I really, really appreciate the comment about coming back and making more videos because you missed me. That was so sweet. We're finally at 450. I repeat, we're finally at 450. Transfer the Cluck Pucks into a 450 degree oven for about 10 minutes. Now listen, halfway through, we're going to top them. Alrighty, it's been 5 minutes. We're going to pull them out and we are now going to dibble them with some butter. Do you hear them sizzling? Ugh. Ugh. I'm disgusted by that sizzle. Disgusted. I'm gonna take them, rotate them, and put them in for 5 more minutes. Could be 6 minutes, it could be 7 minutes. I guess it could be 8, just depending on your oven, but we're going for golden brown Cluck Puck perfection. Alrighty, my friends, it has been 10 minutes and I don't think you're ready for this sketty. Look at these Cluck Pucks! Even the lumplin's perfect. Sure, she's a little lumplin-y, but she's gonna taste fantastic. Look at the flakes we created, guys. Just look at them. I feel like I have to show you her bottom because it's so cute. Seriously, is that not just about the cutest biscuit you've ever seen? I mean, I think so. Pillsbury, eat your heart out. Plus, this one's made with chicken fat. I will tell you, my favorite way to eat these is with Nashville hot chicken. I will link a recipe in the comments. It's not my recipe, but it's my favorite. Now the reason these are so delicious is because they taste like chicken. I mean, they taste like chicken. Look at the flakiness, guys. Look at it. If you're not a fried chicken person, I will tell you these are amazing with chicken noodle soup. Really anything chicken, it just pairs beautifully. But it doesn't have to be chicken. We ate these with leek and potato soup one time and they were amazing. Delicious in the morning with a slab of bacon on top and a fried egg. I mean, you really can't go wrong with a biscuit. I mean, can you think of anything a biscuit doesn't go beautifully with? Lastly, perfect idea that I'm just having, just right off the dome. What if you took a chicken biscuit and then smeared it with like a jalapeno jelly on top? Shut your mouth. I just want to tell you guys one more time how very appreciative I am of all of you. All the views, all the followers, all the comments. This past year was hard. It was hard for everybody, and people like y'all made it so much easier. These videos really were the highlight of my year. So, whether you like to put fried chicken on it, whether you like to dip it, or whether you like to smear it, get baking, y'all. And thanks again from all of us.